repetitive, either talking to themselves repeatedly or having others talk to themselves repeatedly. Tomorrow, for instance, I'm attending a world premiere of a movie called Right to Live, and I want to say hello to my friends at Raystar Productions, and it has to do with domestic violence. And I'm tying this in because the domestic violence abuser, by repetition, will make the spouse or partner or person of their hatred, if you will, feel less than they are by repetitive telling them that they're no good or they're less than women, whatever. So what makes a person get out of that?
Well, you know what? You have to start from within. Everything comes from within. Of course, there's outside conditioning. Inner conditioning, I believe, is the strongest. I've seen many people, I've read many stories, I know many acquaintances who came from the worst situations and overcame it and became very successful, very happy. And then there are others who came from the correct background in a sense that they didn't come from an abusive background or a domestic violence or financially insecure background, but they too know how to work and deal and are happy. I'm jumping here a bit. Basically, what I'm trying to get out is that if you can grow that inner core of strength within you, then you're much better able to overcome something if you were a victim of domestic violence. As far as where these things stem from, it could be part conditioning when you were a child. The first 5 years of your life are very significant. If you're in a family where there's violent parents or a violent situation, that's something that really sticks with you. So that could be one thing. Another thing could be peer pressure at an early age. Another thing could be basic insecurity, part personality. Some things could be a mental issue. So it's a bunch of things combined that create who you are. But can a person change, and can a person come from an inner strength area within them? Yes. Sometimes people have to learn that. Other times it's instilled within them, and other times their parents and their loved ones and people around them, even teachers, are aware of instilling good goals and strengths into children, which then they grow up with. But no situation is hopeless. So wherever anyone comes from, any type of conditioning, any type of, with the right help, but wanting to help yourself first. I mean, that's, if you don't want to help yourself, it just won't work. You have to want to change.
How do you convince someone?
You can't convince them. You cannot convince them. That's the wrong word.
You can lead them there?
You can share. You can actually, you can't even really lead. A person has to be open and ready for it. If they're not open and ready, they won't do it. That's like, I can take an example of growing up, and you know, parents or grandparents or anyone gives a child advice. If that child doesn't want to take that advice, they listen, they hear it, but then they go and they grow their own path and they learn for themselves. How many times I wish I would have said, shucks, I should have listened to my mother, or my grandmother was right. But you live, you learn, you grow, and 9 out of 10 times people want to experience their own things for themselves. So you can lead, you can force, you can try to talk, but unless they want to do it within themselves or authentically want to change, it's not going to happen. You have to want to do it. That's like a child sitting in a classroom. If they don't want an A, they're not getting an A. If they want it, which isn't important, because I feel if you try just as hard for a D, that's great, as long as you're confident and strong, but it has to come from within. And when it comes from within, then they can take advantage of all the help around them. And in cases like that, you can come to a place of wellness much quicker. But you really have to want it.
It all comes from within them. And going back to Dina Wilcox's experience, when you're a caregiver, all of your energy is coming from within. So it's almost a voyage of self-discovery when you're in a caregiving situation. You really have to find out who you are, whether you're up to a task, because you have no choice in many cases. We're talking with Laurie Snyder now, and her book is The Goddess Effect.
Goddess Effect Revealed.
Goddess Effect Revealed. And your contact information, let's tell the listeners how to get in touch with you or to get to the work that you're doing, to see what you're doing.
Okay, it's info@laurie-snyder.com is how you can get in touch with me. And my book is www.goddessthebook.com. That's really a quick trailer that's on there. So that's
Great.
basically how anyone can get in touch with me.
Well, I have a few more shout-outs to give, and then I will be exiting, and my producer, co-host, will come on and continue the conversation. I want to say hello and shout-out to Stephanie Wilson, who is the playwright, producer, and director of the staged reading of The Grinder, which just took place, and that will be produced in a full theatrical production coming soon to a theater somewhere here in Manhattan. So those of you who are living in Fiji or in Poland or anywhere else where you're listening to this program, we'll let you know well in advance, so you can book a flight on United Airlines or any other airline of your choice and come and see the production of The Grinder. I was very privileged to be one of the actors to participate in the staged reading, my first time in a stage reading format. So I want to thank Stephanie Wilson for the opportunity to have done that, and all of the cast that participated. I want to say hello to Al Santillo, Brick Oven Pizza.